This is the Psijic Order, a group of monks who've mastered the divine laws that define the nature of reality. I've sought them out to attain this power for myself, but for reasons much more personal.
You're in a bubble! What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about the bubble? Nothing! Nothing! I hold all the power of the world!
Finally, friggin' finally!
Yes! Yes!
After all this time, they've added a new skill line to the Elder Scrolls Online. And it's not just a, oh, here's a bunch of attacks, hit people with them. They're well thought out, take skill to use effectively, and literally every class can benefit from them one way or another. Now, I don't always talk about what I want personally because I'm incredibly selfless, flawless you might even say, but having this kind of variety put into the game is something I've been waiting a long time for. Not just a new class, but a skill line for everyone to use. Now, I know that we could talk about me all day, but guys, we really need to move on. Well, bam! Introducing the new Psijic Order skill line, obtained through traveling to Artaeum and leveled up through completing the Psijic Order quests. You've got a full 5 active abilities, an ultimate, and a bunch of great passives to complement. So then let's start off with the passives. First off, See the Unseen. This is a passive given freely to those who've joined the Psijic Order and allows them to see these new rifts opening all across Tamriel, in which closing them gives you loot and stops the danger from invading and slaughtering countless innocents or whatever. Clairvoyance reduces the cost of Psijic abilities by an initial 8% and then 15%. Spell Orb. When you cast a Psijic ability, you generate something called a spell charge, which will enable you to throw a spell orb at the closest enemy to you, dealing up to 1,724 spell damage or 4,954 physical damage, depending on which is higher. These orbs must be generated within 10 seconds or you'll lose your spell charge. Concentrated Barrier. If you've got a Psijic Order ability on your bar, when you block, you gain a damage shield that absorbs up to 5,000 damage. The shield recharges if you haven't blocked for 10 seconds, which for some folks will be completely impossible to do. Finally, Deliberation. You gain major protection while casting a Psijic Order ability, reducing your damage taken by 30%. Time to tighten up your Velcro run-in sneakers. We're about to go over all the active abilities. Time Stop. You can freeze enemies at a target location, reducing movement speed in that area, and then stuns them for 3 seconds after the channel completes. Then for the morphs, which cost a bit less, Borrowed Time now negates healing done on the enemies that are stunned, and Time Freeze removes the cast time, but now its duration to stun goes from 1.5 seconds to 4. To put it blunt, you can now instantly have to wait longer to stop your currently slowed enemies. I think. Imbue Weapons. This causes your next light attack within 2 seconds to deal an additional 7,694 physical damage, and it only costs 1,900 stamina for those of you a little bit more lousy in that department. And for the morphs, Elemental Weapon converts this ability to magicka damage and applies either the burning, concussion, or the chill effect. Crushing Weapon now heals you for a percentage of the damage done. Accelerate. Literally gain the power of Sanic for 3 seconds! Major Expedition for 3 seconds and then Minor Force for 12 seconds, increasing your critical damage done by 10%. Here are the morphs. Channeled Acceleration triples the duration but adds a cast time of 1.3 seconds. Race Against Time reduces the cost of sprint by 50% for 3 seconds. Mend Wounds. This replaces your light and heavy attacks with healing abilities that you can cast on your allies. Your light attacks heal 1,278 health over 10 seconds, and your heavy attacks heal for 2,800 health every 1 second while channeling. For the morphs, Mend Spirit will grant your allies major resolve and major ward while you heal them. And Symbiosis heals yourself for 50% of the healing done to an ally. And finally, Meditate. Not only is this the coolest looking ability ever, it's an activated ability that costs nothing and puts you in a resource gaining trance. While activated, you gain 1,500 health, magicka, and stamina every 1 second. Here's the thing, you remain completely frozen until you either deactivate the ability or you're stunned out of it. Deep Thoughts increase the amount of magicka and stamina restored, and Introspection will gain you more health, and for every second the channel is active, you gain 10% more up to 50%. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the alternate dimension singing frog!
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
That's a joke because I try to be a comedian. So here you've got the ultimate undo, which is instantly casted, costs 141 ultimate, and literally tosses you backwards in time 4 seconds, regaining everything you had at that time. Things were, simpler back then. There was no war. There was no sadness, no grief. But now...
Oh, calm down! You went back 4 seconds!
Then you've got the morphs that only cost 121 ultimate. Precognition is able to be casted during crowd control and then grants you crowd control immunity. Then you've got Temporal Guard, which grants minor protection, reducing your damage taken by 8% while slotted. The new Psijic Order skill line will grant players with so many new approaches to PvE and PvP content, and this ultimate is... oh, it's gonna make a lot of people real angry. Kevduit. But why? Why will this make people angry? I don't have time to answer stupid questions. But remember, there's one ability that isn't on this skill tree, but is better than all of them combined. Simply dress up like a Psijic monk, walk down into public like you own it, and you...